Hi there, it's Chris from 6th Street Ocarina. Today we're going to talk a little bit about tolerances and the precision that you need to be thinking in terms of to make a good playing ocarina with a decent amount of range. When you start looking at different sizes of ocarinas, you'll notice right away that the size of the window in the ocarina and the distance from the airway exit to the labium lip needs to be in proportion to the size of the chamber. So as that chamber gets smaller, the labium lip there and the airway and the window need to get smaller. So, and once you start looking at a number of different C-pitched ocarinas, let's say an alto, you'll notice that that distance from, again, the airway exit where the air comes out to where it hits on the labium lip is very consistent in any good quality, good playing ocarina. So how do we get to the point of creating those kinds of tolerances? One thing to keep in mind is that a credit card is about 3/100ths of an inch thick. You can see that down here, and really that's the kind of ranges that we have to be looking at to get to that kind of accuracy. This is a chart here which I have available as a PDF that you can email me and get, but it shows that you go over to this fired side here, that a real small ocarina like this will be less, the distance on there will be from the airway exit to the labium lip will be less than 1/4 of an inch, a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch, all the way up to a full inch on a big bass ocarina. This is your number 1 ocarina, and then your number 3, number 5. So, so how do we get to the point of creating something that's, this precise, where we're looking for, 3/100ths of an inch or 38/100ths of an inch? And really what it comes down to eventually is two things. One of them is as you make ocarinas, and you'll see that in the next video or so, you can play them before the clay is dry. And the tonal quality will be pretty much the same, but at that point you can, by blowing on the low note, test how hard you need to blow that low note away. In other words, what is the volume of the low note? And that'll give you a pretty good indication on whether you're in the range that you need to be on the size of the window for that particular ocarina. So whether it's C-pitched or not, that doesn't matter so much. Eventually, it's nice to be able to measure these distances and then use some kind of a tool or measuring device to help you judge or create that that shape that you're trying to achieve, or that distance very precisely. So it could be as simple as a little tool like this, something along the lines of a fipple stick like this that could be used. We'll talk a little bit more about these later, but it just gives you a way to kind of measure that distance there. Eventually, it's nice to be able to quantify that by using a dial caliper, or you can get these little rulers that go down to 1/100th of an inch, and then you can kind of get them. It gives you a little bit of an idea of where you're at, so that you can make fine adjustments. This part of the chart down here shows that if you're shooting for a nice medium volume on a C-pitched ocarina, that's the number 3, that would be this size. You're looking at this 38/100ths of an inch. If you go 3/100ths of an inch higher than that, or size-wise larger than that, it's going to affect the sound. And if you go 3/100ths of an inch lower than that, or smaller than that, it's going to affect the sound. And when you get even farther out of that range over to here, this means that ocarina is likely not to play very well, or not be able to play at least 1 octave. which I think is a good goal for a beginning ocarina maker, to get an ocarina that can play one good solid octave. And eventually, as we go on, I'll get it more into what it takes to get an ocarina to play a full 21 notes and all that with a 12-hole ocarina. So for now, I think that's about it. The next video, we'll be looking at some of the forming techniques that can be used by beginners to get started as far as making the body of the ocarina. And then we'll also be looking at the mechanics of creating a simpler voicing, and how to go about doing that and what tools you'll need to do that. So, okay, I think that's about it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.